Hey nail bosses, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be creating this beautiful set of 3XL spring nails. So of course the first thing that I'm doing is going in and applying my nail tips. These are my Coffin 3XL nail tips and I am using my KDS glue. And as always, whenever you're applying nail tips, no matter what length or shape, you want to make sure that you focus on making sure that the nail tips fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. If you have one that's too small or too big, just go with the one that's a little bit bigger. Just file it down on the side just a tiny bit to make it fit perfectly. After that, just apply the glue and then just place it on the nail. Really nice and simple, but remember, just always remember, you want to make sure that that nail tip fits exactly from sidewall to sidewall. And then also the practice hand that I'm using is my Vita Vela Realistic Silicone Practice Hand. Highly recommended if you've been looking for a good practice hand. This one definitely is my absolute favorite. I've tried two other ones and they were not all of that, to be honest. The one I had before was really heavy and this one is really easy to work with. I definitely love the way that you can just bend the fingers and they actually stay when you move them. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts about the hand. I do have a promo code, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. But of course, to create this set, I'm going to be using all of my products. So we're using the NC monomer, my Odorat drops, we're using the Pretty in Pink acrylic powder, which is my absolute favorite color, and of course we're using my favorite acrylic brush, which is my number 14 oval brush, and it is crimped, which basically means that it's nice and flat. And of course the nail art items are also from my website. I'll be sure to leave that link down below so you guys can go check it out. But of course, as always, whenever I'm applying my acrylic, I always like to use my 4-ball method. This basically gives me a good guide to create the perfect foundation for every single set, no matter the length or shape or anything. It will literally help you achieve the most flawless application. So I place my first bead right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meet, patting it down and then very gently brushing down towards the tip. My next bead I place right below that first one. Same thing, just kind of letting the acrylic do what it do, and then just very quickly start patting to kind of distribute the acrylic evenly throughout the nail. And then just very gently, like when I say gently, y'all, I'm literally almost like feathering the acrylic on. And also whenever I'm doing this, I make sure that as I'm wiping the acrylic or brushing the acrylic on, that I'm wiping my brush off a lot as I'm working. Now right here, you guys see me place a small bead at the tip, and that's just because I feel like it was still a little translucent, so I applied a little bit more where I need it. But this right here is actually my third bead, so I placed that above the first bead. Same thing, very gently patting and then start brushing the acrylic down. And remember, y'all, I cannot stress this enough, but you want to make sure that as you're applying your acrylic, you are being really gentle, because if not, you're going to be brushing all of that product off your nail and it's going to be on your paper towel, and at that point you're literally just wasting product. So make sure that you're really gentle. And then next we're going in and applying the fourth bead closer to the cuticle area, so placing it down as close as I can to the cuticle, but not to where it's on the actual skin. Same thing, just patting it down to kind of scoot it up as close to the cuticle as I can, and then just blending it in with the rest of the nail, and of course cleaning around the cuticle. Next, I'm gonna go in and just place another one, because you guys can tell how it's still a little bit translucent around the cuticle. So just placing another one and then just very gently brushing it down. And this is basically going to give us just a flawless foundation. The acrylic is going to be nice and smooth. So once we get to the filing part, we'll have to do minimal filing. So again, it's my 4-bead method. I did apply 2 extra ones, but just always remember that if you need to go in and apply a little bit more, that is completely fine. But just sticking to a certain guide is really good, especially as beginners, because you don't want to just go in and start applying acrylic anywhere. You want to make sure that you have a kind of like a guide to go by. And with this 4-ball method, the way that the acrylic is placed, starting from the tip and then working your way up to the cuticle area, it just helps you achieve that perfect structure that you want. So you have a nice thickness at the tip as well as a nice apex, that way your nails don't break off. So next, as you guys seen, we did a thin layer of clear acrylic over the nail, and then I'm going in and I applied some of my broken heart glitter, and then I did some the dried flowers and some gold foil. Then I'm gonna do an ombre with that same pretty and pink acrylic. And y'all, I don't think I've mentioned this just yet, but look at how beautiful this pink is. This is my all-time favorite acrylic powders from my core collection, and I'm pretty sure that it's like, y'all, when I say this color sells out so fast, like this is literally everybody's favorite color. I even had some people request that I start selling it in bigger jars, because right now I'm only doing the 2-ounce jars. So I'm definitely gonna take that into consideration, because y'all, like, I noticed that you guys just go through it so fast, because I mean, it's just such a beautiful color. And of course, our acrylics are very beginner friendly, or you know, no matter what your level of expertise is, they just work really well. They apply on really well. They're really buttery. The colors are absolutely beautiful, and they are literally just perfect to work with. So definitely be sure to check them out. I'll be sure to leave the link down below. And again, this is from my NC Core Acrylic collection. It consists of 6 different colors, different shades of pinks and nudes, and then we have a white and like an off-white color. Be sure to check it out. I'll be sure to leave the link down below. But after I finish doing my ombre with the pink, I go in and just basically encapsulate the flowers, foil, and glitter. So I'm just going in with my clear, placing that on the tip, and just making sure that, of course, we apply the acrylic on there thick enough, and that is covering up all of the glitter and flowers. That way, whenever we come into file, we're not gonna file away any of our art. So just again, going in and making sure that we cover all of that up. And again, y'all, the brush that I'm using is my number 14 oval acrylic brush. I know you guys absolutely love it. I've been getting a lot of good feedback about it. We also have it in a number 12, and as I mentioned earlier, they are crimped, which means that they're gonna be nice and flat. So whenever you take it out of the package, you just want to dip it into your monomer to remove that starch that's in your brush that kind of keeps the bristles together when they package it. And then after that, you are ready to start using it. But I'm gonna basically be doing the same thing that I did on the pinky, just focusing on doing like my 4-bead method, making sure that I place my bead down, pat it, brush down, and then wiping the sides off. That way, you see how like whenever I brush the acrylic down, I also go in on the side with the side of my brush, and that's just basically so we don't lose our shape. If I wasn't to do that, the acrylic would basically run to the sides, and it will just give me like really thick sides, and we don't want that. And so basically when I brush the sides of the nail, it's basically just pushing the acrylic back up like you see me doing here, and it's making sure that everything is nice and even. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that. That way you don't have to do a lot of filing at the end. But again, we're just doing the 4-ball method. For the index finger, I'm going to be doing the glitter with the flowers and the foil, except for instead of doing an ombre, it's just going to be a full nail, but it's going to be the same thing, just doing the clear, then doing the glitter, then doing the flowers, then the foil, and then clear to encapsulate. So I'm going to let you guys watch, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so after we finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go in and reshape the nails. And for that, I am using my 8080 Get Nail 32 hand file. And of course, since they're already that coffin shape that we love, we're just going in on the sides and the free edge and basically just redefining that shape to make sure that all of the little rough edges from the side of the nails are gone. So again, just following both sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. And y'all just look at how straight that file is against the nail. You definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention when you're doing this, because if you hold it at a slightly different angle, you're going to round those corners off and it's no longer going to be that perfect coffin shape. So make sure that you pay really close attention as you're doing this. Alrighty y'all, so this is what the nails look like after we finish reshaping them. As you guys can see, they are absolutely flawless. I love the color, the shape, and literally they're so smooth that we have minimal filing to do. So I'm going in with my 5-in-1 extra fine tapered drill bit, and I'm just going in and of course filing around the cuticle area and then just filing the rest of the nail to make sure that everything is nice and smooth, which the way I apply my acrylic, I barely ever have any bumps or lumps. But of course, as a beginner, trust me, I've been there, so I know how hard it can be to have a nice and smooth nail. But if you're using good products like our NC acrylic system, it definitely makes it really easy for you to achieve that really like flawless look. That way, whenever it comes to filing, you'll be like me and you barely have to do any filing, other than of course filing around the cuticle to make sure that it's nice and sealed and you don't get any lifting at all. And then of course just filing a little bit throughout the entire nail to make sure everything is well blended. So definitely take that into consideration. I know a lot of the time when people want to start practicing nails, they just go out and get like literally the cheapest set of acrylics that they can find. And y'all, when I say that literally will make you regret even wanting to start doing nails, and I say that from experience, y'all. Like whenever I first bought my first kit to start practicing nails, I bought the little Kiss kit from Walmart, and this was like back in 2010, y'all. And it was horrible to the point where like after I did it that one time, like I gave up because it was so hard. But it's just because the little set just was no good at, or I just didn't know what I was doing, y'all. But when you buy good products, it definitely makes a huge difference, like I promise you. So I do have a acrylic bundle available on my website, which comes with your monomer, 2 acrylic powders, my acrylic brush. It comes with your dap and dish, primer, and dehydrator for only about $80 something. Yeah, I should know this, but it's only about $80 some. So it's definitely a great price because you're getting really good products. Even the brush, y'all, like your brush is definitely one of your most important tools. But anyways, enough of that. After we finished filing all of the nails, I just buffed them to make sure that everything was nice and smooth and all of the scratches were gone. And then I rinsed the hand off, brushed it off with water and soap to get all that dust off. And now we're going in with just a little bit of, not even nail art, but just adding a little pop of white. I was gonna say color, but it's just white, and then some stones. So I did a white on the middle finger and the thumb, literally just across the nail. Didn't want to do too much. I was thinking about doing a French tip, but I feel like everybody's been doing French tips lately, and so I just decided to do the polish across the nail on one side. I didn't want to do the V either, so I feel like this one was, you know, just adding a little bit of just something a little bit brighter, but not too much, because yes, this is the color bright white. So but anyways, after we finish this white, of course I'm curing for 30 seconds, and then I'm going in with my hard gel, which, y'all, when I say this thing will have your stones stuck on your nail, like, y'all, it's so good. So I'm just applying it on the nail, and then I just kind of brushed it on there, and now I'm just going in with my AB stones and my white pearls and just applying those right over the top of the hard gel with my wax pencil. And I'm just alternating from different sizes and just filling in the entire tip. And remember, whenever you're doing a full nail of rhinestones, you definitely want to make sure that you're alternating, because if not, you're gonna have gaps in between your stones, and it's not all that cute. So make sure that just use different sizes. And then I do like using the hard gel for my stones because I don't have to worry about working, you know, too fast, because it's not gonna dry until I cure the hard gel. So after we finish doing the full nail of stones, of course we're gonna go in and do a top coat, and then we're gonna cure all of the nails for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so now I'm going in with my gel top coat. This is the NC gel top coat, and I'm just applying that on all of the nails and curing for 60 seconds. And y'all, when I say this top coat is so shiny and it stays shiny, like I promise, I've used other top coats and literally after a few days it's no longer shiny, but y'all, this one, like literally it will be shiny until you take it off. Like it just does not dull or anything. But anyways, here is the final look, y'all. They turned out so absolutely beautiful, and that pink is just flawless, y'all.